there comes a moment when you realize you don't have to respond to everything. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. You don't have to defend every decision. You don't have to prove your worth. And you don't have to win every argument. Sometimes, the most powerful response is silence, because silence isn't weakness. Silence is control. When you are constantly reacting, you give other people access to your emotions. One insult, and you're angry. One criticism, and you're defensive. One rejection, and you're desperate to explain. One misunderstanding, and you're writing paragraphs, trying to make someone understand you. But eventually, you become exhausted, not because life is too difficult, but because you're spending your energy trying to control how other people see you. The strongest people understand something simple. You don't need to be understood by everyone. You need to understand yourself. Know who you are. Know what you stand for. Know where you're going. Then let your actions speak. Because when your life becomes stronger, you don't need to keep explaining it. When you become quiet, you start noticing things you couldn't hear before. You notice who only talks to you when they need something. You notice who celebrates you and who secretly competes with you. You notice who respects your boundaries and who becomes angry when you establish them. You notice who listens and who only waits for their turn to speak. Silence gives you something noise never can. Observation. When you're constantly talking, you're busy expressing yourself. When you're silent, you begin seeing everyone else. And sometimes, what people don't say tells you more than what they do say. Watch, listen, observe. Don't rush to react. Give people enough time to reveal themselves, because you don't need to expose everyone. Time does that for you. Not every argument deserves your voice. Some people aren't looking for truth. They are looking for a reaction. They don't want to understand you. They want to trigger you. They want to pull you into chaos so they can feel powerful. Don't give them that power. You don't have to attend every battle you're invited to. Some battles are beneath your future. Think about how much energy people waste trying to prove they're right. Hours, days, sometimes years. And what do they gain? Nothing. Being right isn't always worth the cost. Sometimes you can be right and still walk away. You can know the truth and remain silent. You can disagree without becoming disrespectful. Because maturity isn't knowing how to win arguments. Maturity is knowing which arguments aren't worth winning. There is another kind of silence, the silence of preparation. Nobody knows how early you wake up. Nobody sees how many hours you study. Nobody knows how many times you failed. Nobody sees the night you wanted to quit. And that's okay. You don't need an audience for your transformation. Work quietly, train quietly, learn quietly, build quietly, save quietly, improve quietly. You don't need to announce every goal you have. You don't need to tell everyone what you're going to become, because talking about your future can feel like progress without actually creating progress. Let your work be louder than your words. Let your discipline speak for you. Let your results introduce you. Your peace is valuable. Protect it. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every comment deserves a response. Not every person deserves access to you. Not every problem deserves your energy. And not every piece of information deserves space inside your mind. You live in a world that is constantly screaming for your attention. Notifications, arguments, news, opinions, drama, comparison. Everyone wants you to react, but you don't have to. You can put the phone down. You can leave the conversation. You can stop explaining. You can choose peace. Silence creates space for your mind to breathe. And sometimes you don't need another answer. You need less noise. Anyone can react. When they are angry, anyone can scream. When they are hurt, anyone can send a message. They'll regret tomorrow. But can you remain calm? Can you feel anger without becoming anger? Can you feel hurt without hurting someone else? Can you feel rejection without begging to be accepted? Can you feel fear without allowing fear to make your decisions? That's strength. Silence gives you a pause, and inside that pause is power. You don't have to respond. The second you feel something, breathe, think, wait, then choose. Your emotions are real, but they don't have to be your commander. The person who controls their reactions controls their direction. There will be people who underestimate you. Let them. There will be people who laugh at your goals. Let them. There will be people who don't believe in you. Let them. You don't need to convince them. Keep working, because one of the most powerful experiences is becoming the person people said you couldn't become. Not through revenge, not through arguments, not through proving them wrong, but through becoming better. Imagine how powerful it feels when you no longer need to say, "I told you so," because your life says it for you. Your discipline says it. Your confidence says it. Your results say it. Your peace says it. Your silence says it. Don't chase recognition. Become undeniable. One day, you will understand that silence isn't about having nothing to say. It's about knowing when your words aren't necessary. You stop explaining yourself. You stop chasing people. You stop fighting for approval. You stop reacting to every insult. You stop trying to control opinions. You stop giving your peace to people who don't deserve it. And you become quietly powerful, not cold, not arrogant, not emotionless, just disciplined. You understand that your attention is precious. Your energy is limited. Your time is disappearing every second. So you become selective. You speak when it matters. You listen when it matters. You walk away when it matters. You work when it matters. And you stay silent when silence is stronger. Remember this. You don't need to respond to everything. You don't need to explain everything. You don't need to prove everything. Let people think what they want. Let them misunderstand. Let them underestimate you. Let them talk. You have a life to build, a future to create, a mind to strengthen, a purpose to fulfill. So stop wasting your energy trying to control the noise. Control yourself. Build yourself. Protect your peace. And let your actions speak louder than your words ever could. Because sometimes the loudest statement you can make is no statement at all. Stay silent. Stay disciplined. Stay focused. And let your results make the noise. That is the power of silence.